WIDR.
We're waiting for Matthew. Hello, we're here. This is our podcast. We're the Doghouse, and we are waiting on our special guest. Cue music.
Cue?
Music. Like the
Ooh, and then they transition into like some. Oh, do you know what show that's from? Pop quiz. Do you know what show that's from? To do the whole thing?
No. It is from Jeopardy.
You got it. You win 100 points.
Yes! Yes!
Do you think you could go on Jeopardy?
No. I'm way too stupid for that.
I would only be good at the 100 section of Jeopardy.
Jeopardy 100.
You know how they're like in points?
Yeah.
I have a small amount of knowledge about lots of things.
I'm getting a phone call. Hello? You're in the building? All right, I'm gonna let you in.
We are getting our guest right now, folks. Our guest is in the parking lot. We just started this way late. You can tell we are like on the ball here. We know what we're doing. The topic today is like music. Our guest Matthew, he's like a musician. He's in a band, and he's really good. Oh, my co-host needs their ID to get back into the room, folks. She's searching. She's leaving. Now this Matthew guy, he's a really nice guy. He's a musician. He's in a band called Nagy, I believe. Maybe that's just him. He'll explain himself what he's all about. So we're going to be talking about music part 2. You might have caught our first music episode. Well, we liked it so much, we're doing it twice. They walked into the room.
The mics are on.
Mics are on, but they'll cut this in post, maybe. Unless it's funny.
Hello, Podcast Nation.
Podcast. What are our fans called? They're the homies?
The mics are the rule. Yeah.
You know how to use a mic, right? Close to your face.
Yeah, you just go like that.
You know what you're doing. He's
Yeah.
a professional, folks.
Professional mic user, Matthew Nagy.
I'm Khan.
And I'm Mads.
This is the Doghouse. And we have a very special guest today. The one, the only, it's Matthew.
Hi.
We're going to be talking about music part 2 today. And all things music. What is your guys' respective music backgrounds?
My music background is strictly listener. I struggled all the way through that sentence.
But you made some cover art too before.
I do sometimes dabble in making some cover art for musicians that are small and cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mr. Matthew?
I make music.
You make music?
Yes, I make music.
Can you break down what that means?
Well, I play guitar and I sing and I make songs.
Ooh. Okay.
It's a hard thing to describe. Ask me more, like, finite questions.
Now, do you think, let's say, here's a thought question for you, okay? Let's say, what do we define as music, right? We're getting philosophical in this episode.
I think a lot of people have different definitions of music. I think my definition of music is a little bit more postmodern than other people's.
Ooh, right.
Where, like, I think anything can be music as long as the artist says it's music. And
that's an interesting point. Because
because I listen to a lot of like ambient and noise music, which is just like, it's not music, but the person who's making it says it is. So it's like, oh.
Now, have you ever heard something and maybe it wasn't like a song or anything, but it was like noise from the environment. And you're like, this is music.
Yeah. I like listening to like cars drive by and like
Rain.
trains and rain and
What's
the brain.
that one band that just like records all the sound? I'm sure there are a lot of people that do
They
this
record all the
actually.
sounds.
They record all the sounds and make it into.
Ooh.
They got the beats, you know.
Like what kind of sounds?
What are you talking
Like the can opening.
Ooh.
Oh,
Uh,
are you talking about Superorganism?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah, that's cool. Like Animal Collective does a lot of that kind of stuff too. Where
Yeah.
like they'll record somebody like stomping on the ground as like the drum beat. And it's like,
Mhm.
you're weird and quirky. But it's actually really cool.
It's actually really good and weird and quirky.
Yeah.
I make music too.
You make
Just to
ambient
throw
music,
that out.
right?
I make it's like ambient music, I
Yeah.
would say. I don't know how songs work or anything. So I just mash sounds together until I'm like, that sounds good.
I think some of my favorite like movies and like paintings and like music is made by people who don't know how to make that specific art they're making.
Mm-hmm. There's a word for that in like the fine art world where it's an outsider artist.
Yes.
But I prefer, not to sound pretentious, but I like the French version where it's called art brut, which just means raw art. Because outsider to me doesn't mean anything. You can make art whoever you are and have any education and make it.
Yeah.
But if it's raw, it's like, it's got some emotion in it that's like very
Raw.
human.
Raw.
Raw?
Raw.
RAR XD.
We're going to cut that.
Okay. What?
What do you want to talk about, man? Have you prepared anything?
I have not prepared anything. In the nature of this podcast, I don't prepare.
Well, I like the philosophical route. So maybe we can think of some music semantic questions or something.
Yeah, I wanted to call this episode Music Semantics, but Con said it was too wordy.
Yeah.
Let's
But
get into the semantics.
we're getting into the semantics now. I've changed my opinion. And
On
you
what?
should on what this episode should be called.
Okay.
People should be, people can change their opinions. They don't have to hold them so tight.
Yeah.
And that's what I did right here.
Well, how do you feel about the, like, how older people, once they get older, they stop listening to new music? Do you feel that you will be that way?
Do old people
And like different art too. Like old people are just like, I just watch my John Wayne movies
Man,
and
that's so sad when I think about that.
I listen to
I'm
my AC/DC.
There's so much good stuff out there,
Is there?
I'm so sad that people are like, I'm not gonna listen to the new stuff. It's all bad.
I think part of it too is just it's like not accessible to them. Like we're young and we're like always meeting new people that listen to other things and like having conversations about it. But like when you get older and you start to like have less like new experiences and new,
Yeah,
like you probably don't, you have a harder time like discovering.
man, that sounds sad.
It does sound sad.
I mean, I don't know. If I was like 60s, like if I was like 65 and some like 21-year-old's like doing something on his guitar, I'd be like, what are you doing on that? Like I don't know. I'd be
that's
like,
how
"What
you
is
would
it,
say it.
Well, within
youngster."
like the last 20 years, I feel like it's been an explosion of different music, right? Maybe
Not
more,
really.
I think it's more accessible though.
It's more accessible to learn about stuff that usually wouldn't be able to. But
Mhm.
there's a lot of like weird underground stuff that like would not be popular if it wasn't for the internet, for
Mhm.
sure. But like even like back in the 80s, like you said, like outsider art. Like there's this guy Daniel Johnston.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Like he's actually like one of the, I think he's probably like the biggest outsider like musician. And like Kurt Cobain was like wearing his
Mhm.
shirt, and like even he back then, like people would pass around his cassette tapes,
Ooh.
and that's how he actually got famous. He ended up playing on like MTV and stuff. But I don't know. Like I don't know if the internet really is like doing anything better for art in terms of like accessibility. I think like me personally, like I would find the same stuff that I'm finding on the internet. It would just take a little bit longer and a little bit harder.
Right.
It would just make me have a conversation with somebody.
Yeah. We are in a loneliness epidemic right now.
We are.
Where people are not used to being in like community situations or like having conversations with peers post-COVID, like having all that post-COVID stuff of like we were only talking to people in our circles.
Right.
And so
I even feel like that goes beyond COVID too, because I was talking to like a professor and I was like, have you like stayed in touch with the people from like your grad school or undergrad school? And she was like, no, not really. So it's like, you know, people I feel like do get lonelier as time goes on in some ways.
Yeah.
With age?
I think people get comfortable and they don't want to like change their comfort. So they're like, if you know, if it takes them to go out and experience a bunch of new things, maybe they're scared that their like zone is going to change, you know? And
well, I don't know. I think like once you get older, I think like
I don't know.
That's like a young man's game is kind of just doing stuff that's stupid and taking risks. And I don't know, you got a family, like just chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, I don't know.
We got some controversy here.
I think that is like a thing though, is like old people just stick to what they know, but like it doesn't have to be. Like I also know that like my grandparents are like, they're in like a blues music group. And it's
really,
they have all these friends that just also listen to blues music and they go to like other blues festivals all around the place.
Can you tell me what blues is? Because I'm going to be honest, I've heard about it and I know of it, but I don't know like what the feeling of blues is. Is it like
the feeling of blues?
Like what is it? You know, like if you think about rap,
you ever been down and out?
So it's like actual like blues and sad, maybe. Yeah,
that's where like I got the blues. Like you know, like they're down and out. Like you gotta sing a song about it. It's pretty good. And I like the blues.
I like the names for music genres. Like
I do.
I'm like, how did that get to be the name?
What's your favorite music genre name?
Shoegaze.
That's you know why it's called shoegaze?
Because the singers would look at their shoes.
Yeah, because they have like so many guitar pedals and they're just like nervous little nerds playing their guitars that they would just always be stepping on their guitar pedals and just staring at their feet while playing. It's pretty silly. My favorite music genre name is it's IDM.
Yeah.
Which is like, a lot of people know it, but it's called intelligent dance music. And I think that's such like a...
Is that like, was it made after EDM?
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of like to combat EDM. like we're not just gonna go booch booch. We're gonna go boot doo doo boot doo. We're gonna add weird stuff. And I think it's actually some of my favorite music is from that genre. But I just think it's such a silly name. Like we're intelligent music. Like shut up.
Do you have a favorite genre, Mads? Just a name, not like the music that you like, but like
maybe like vaporwave.
Ooh,
just sounds kind of stupid.
I like vaporwave. That's a good genre name.
Vaporwave. It's such an interesting genre because it's like heavily sampled, right?
It's like purely sample based, actually.
Slowed down. Just it's pretty atmospheric too.
Yeah, I feel like there's so many genres and like so many subgenres of music, and like I can never remember them all. But Matthew's pretty good at like categorizing all that stuff and like being able to identify it. How do you identify those things?
What do you mean? Like how do I
like you can just like hear a song and like I'll be like, oh, this is this, and know so much about it.
I mean, that's just what happens when you like spend like every hour of every day just consumed by like music. And I don't know, like I most nights, like I'm if I'm not like listening to a podcast, I'm like scrolling through my Apple Music or whatever, just trying to like find like that, going to like the similar artist thing and just finding a new artist to listen to. And after a while, I just kind of like, oh, I remember that guy. Oh, I listen to that guy. You know?
Yeah.
And I think that is just like, you know, the things you like. Because I could talk about a bunch of random stuff about art just because I consume a lot of art, you know, articles and things like that.
This is interesting. I don't feel like I have that like super hyper tuned in interest.
Yeah.
Like I have interest in art and music, but I think I am always overwhelmed by all of the things that I like that I can never like be too in tune with any one of them.
You don't like have time to kind of consume it on your own recreationally.
Time is hard. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm a big like movie snob. I'm a big like music snob. I love looking at paintings.
What's your favorite movie like score?
Movie score. My like the one that like came to my mind was the score for Eraserhead. And just because it took a year for them to make it, and like they would use like vacuum cleaners and like the whole thing is just like atmospheric noise pretty much. There actually are a couple, I think there's just one song in it and it's actually a pretty good song, but it's just that just comes to my mind because of the way they made it is so interesting.
That's good.
I can't really think of any other score at the top of my head other than like Star Wars. But I mean, like Star Wars does has like.
What about like soundtrack? I guess score was like really specific.
Soundtrack.
Lots of the Lucas films, like even Indiana Jones, they had a big focus on the music.
I mean, the music is 50% of the movie. No joke. Yes. Yeah. Try watching Indiana Jones without the music. It's a crappy movie. Like for real.
That'd be a funny like YouTube channel. They just post movies, but it's just like without any music, and
I think I've seen that before.
There's shoes like squeaking or something.
Yeah, they do that where they take out the laugh track of like Big Bang Theory. And he goes like Bazinga, and like just the room's silent. It's like that's so awkward.
That shows how important sound is, you know, to anything.
Yeah.
Maybe this podcast should be called Sound instead of music.
Sounds.
Because I feel like we've just been talking a lot about.
We usually talk about words, but now we're talking about sounds.
Yeah.
Do you have any tics that you do, like sound tics with your mouth, or like words that you'll say, like you know this, you know that?
I get into different ones at different times. Like I'll have like a phrase or a word
what about
that I say a bunch.
Everybody in like Michigan says like.
I think everybody does, though. You know, at one point.
Like.
Con is really anti like Michigan.
I think
like
it's...
he doesn't believe that we just say "ope" or like
we do say "ope."
He doesn't believe in the like no yeah.
But people around the world say like.
Yes, they also say those other things, but like collectively. It's very concentrated in this area. Like it comes from over here.
But you brought this up because Matthew said like, and I think people around the United States say like.
Yes.
Does that come from a uncertainty?
Think about Shaggy from
Shaggy from the song?
No, Scooby-Doo.
Oh, I thought you were
a musician.
Talking about My Angel.
Your angel?
Yeah. You know, it wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Oh. I love that song because it's so funny. People got mad at Shaggy, but Shaggy's the one who's like...
It wasn't me.
No, he's like giving advice to the guy. The guy who's also on the song is the one who did it. And Shaggy's like, I don't know, man.
Well, he put out It Wasn't Me, and then he put out... I don't think it's called It Wasn't Me. It was called something else. And then he put out My Angel, which is like the redemption song, right?
I do remember that song.
Shorty, you're my angel.
Oh, copyright strike us with that one.
I feel like I only said 4 words, so I think we should be okay.
These algorithms are getting good. They can... I want to bring up one cool thing that I want to talk about.
Okay.
It's a fake genre of music that was created for a video game. So basically, this video game is like the internet in the 90s if it was a different universe.
What's
right?
the video game?
It's called Hypnospace Outlaw. And
Okay.
you're like an internet cop. And you have to like find bad content on this like fake internet.
What?
Is this on Steam?
Yeah.
Internet cop is the craziest term.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I guess the universe is like hyper authoritarian or something like that. But there's a genre of music called cool punk that exists in this timeline. And they have bands like Slushmouth and Freezer. And it's just a bunch of music where like if Christmas music and like the sounds of it were like just a genre people listen to all year round.
Ugh.
But it's not like about Christmas. It's like the Christmas sounds, of like a
they
song.
got Jingle Bells.
This
they
sounds
got, like,
terrible. I don't want to
I
exist
love it.
in this universe. No.
There,
You got internet cops. You got Freezer.
yeah.
Slush Puppy.
There's a
Jingle Bells.
Cool Fest 99. You ever been there? No.
There's like a music festival for this stuff.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's cool punk, bro.
This is dark web.
This is fake.
very
This is a
underground.
fiction.
Oh, this is fiction.
Yes.
So you're lying to me.
Is that what fiction is? Lying?
You're a liar.
It's a book. No,
Your
it's a video
nose is
game.
growing, Con. I'm watching it happen right before my eyes.
This is a fun video game. It's not like
it's a
there's
video game? I missed that key detail that he was actually talking about something real, not making this up completely. All right.
Listen,
I'm tired today, guys. I'm very sorry.
it's a good video game. Hypnospace Outlaw. You're an internet cop, and there's cool punk.
Cool punk. Got it. I could get behind Slush Puppy, I'm not gonna lie.
It's a good name for a band.
So there's music in video games.
Yes.
There's music in movies.
Some people look down on the video game music. They're like, you listen to that? You listen to that?
There's a lot of good video game music.
There is.
Like that, what was that, Cuphead?
Yeah.
It's got good music.
It's a good game.
I have
Yeah.
Cuphead on my Switch. Matthew bought it.
Yeah, I'm not a big video game guy, but
Me neither.
it's important to have good music.
True. And like movies, it accounts for a big part of it, I would say. Do
Imagine you're playing Minecraft.
you want to hear something crazy real quick?
Yeah.
I turn off the music when I play video games. Because I'm like, I want to focus on what I'm doing.
Do you listen to like a podcast or music while you play?
I do listen to other things while I'm
Okay.
playing.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that. Like when I play my NHL game every once in a while.
I always feel like I just need as much stimulation as possible because I'm like, play a podcast while I'm working.
Well, yeah, you got to watch Family Guy while you're playing Subway Surfers and Temple Run
I
and
saw an art piece somebody did where it was like a painting in a gallery, but like the bottom half was a video playing Subway Surfers.
That's really funny.
I really
actually.
like that.
Yeah, that's really messed up. I don't got anything else to say about that.
Here's something that you might be interested in, Matthew. There's this strategy that musicians are using now in the day of social media where they will take, like big names are doing this. They'll take a video that might have gotten viral, gotten millions of views, right? And then they will take it and they'll repost it, but they'll overlay their music really quietly over top of it, like on TikTok or something. And that way it'll get more views to their song.
Yeah, I think that's smart.
Yeah.
I think it's really hard to get. I don't know. It's not really hard. It's hard for me to identify with doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really done the TikTok thing. I don't really know anything about TikTok. Or
Yeah.
what they do on TikTok, but I think that's a very smart thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna get banned soon.
Yeah, I
TikTok?
know. It's just they're just gonna sell it to like a U.S. buyer.
I don't even know if it is. Maybe this is false information, but I don't know if it's even passed.
Yeah.
I know it's like passed one of them, like the House or the Senate, but I think it has to pass both. And then they have like a 6-month period to then find somebody to sell it.
Yeah. Bureaucracy.
I know a lot about a lot.
I do. I know a lot. I know a lot of little things about lots of things, but not in-depth knowledge about things.
I don't really think I know anything.
You know things.
Yeah, I know things. I don't know like a lot about anything.
When I think about it, I'm like, the brain, it's like the biggest storage of data there is. And there's all this information in it. And it's not about like remembering, it's about querying your brain and trying to give it a good question or something so that you remember something.
I like that.
Because it's in there. You just have to find the right path to get to it.
Yeah.
The brain is like a maze.
Digging
It
out
is.
full
You
of
ever seen
wrinkles.
that? You ever seen one? They're wrinkly.
They are wrinkly.
What
Mine's smooth though.
like music makes your brain really happy?
Makes me happy.
Yeah, like gives you the endorphins.
I mean, I feel like anybody would just say like their favorite genre, but I don't know. It depends on the.
Because my
the
favorite
mood.
genre makes me really sad, but I like it. It's really good.
What's your favorite genre?
Maybe it's not a genre. I don't know
You
what
like
it is.
folk? You like
Yeah.
like lady folk? That's what I would call it.
Apparently, I like lady folk.
Indie lady folk.
Indie lady folk.
I'm pulling that card. I like everything, man.
Well, yeah. But what's like your favorite?
My favorite. I used to say alt rock.
Alt rock, like
That
what?
was like my
what?
go-to. Like a Gorillaz or something.
Okay.
What would you consider?
Gorillaz is my favorite band.
Hey, Gorillaz is sweet. Do you know who Graham Coxon is?
No,
He was a member of the Gorillaz. No,
really?
I'm a liar. He was in
Blur?
the band Blur,
Mm-hmm.
and he has solo music that I really like.
Yeah. If you don't know, folks at home, the creator of Gorillaz came from Blur.
Correct.
Fun fact.
Blur.
Song 2.
If you like Gorillaz, maybe you like Blur. It's a bit different, but you can see some veins.
Yeah, I've heard that song. See, like I would just for never be able to recall that, but like for you to know that, like weird.
Yeah, I'm weird. My
I
brain's
don't know.
weird.
You're not weird. It's just like I just don't know how you guys can recall information like that.
I just consume lots, and my brain
I'm
is
with
like
a lot of brain
eat,
consumers.
eat.
They're consuming lots of things in their brain. There's like nothing between my ears. Like I'm just like thinking about like everything that's happening right now,
yeah.
this moment, and then nothing.
But maybe that's important too because I'm not, and maybe I have a blind spot where I'm not seeing something right now. But you're into the moment.
You need
You're
to
like,
tap
this
to
is
the fourth
happening.
dimension. You gotta see
Yeah.
the goblins that I
Gotta
can
open
see
my-
right now.
The goblins and the ghouls.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see the Hat Man. He's
Hat
gonna show me.
Man, spiders in the wall.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, people. Am I allowed to talk about this? Benadryl. People taking Benadryl recreationally.
They'll cut it, maybe. Maybe not. We also have to wrap up.
Yeah. And on that note, if you're seeing goblins and
If you
other
see
things,
goblins, tune in.
Spiders in the wall.
spiders in the wall, keep listening to the Doghouse
Yeah.
podcast
If you ever
because
see the Hat
you're
Man-
one of us.
If you ever see the Hat Man, tell him to watch our podcast or listen.
Listen
He's
to our
always
podcast.
watching.
He
I
is
think-
always watching.
I
He's in
think
the walls.
he's one of our top listeners.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
actually subscribed to us.
He's subscribed to us. He leaves us recommendations,
Yeah.
as you should. So put some recs
Mm-hmm.
down in those comments, guys.
Matthew, can you think of a tune to sign us off with, like with your mouth? Do, 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 or something?
Oh, okay. We can't do like a Nardwar thing. You got to do like a.
Yeah, can't steal that.
Ah, shoot.
I usually do a remix from like,
Dude, wait.
Doghouse.
What if you end dun 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 dun? What if that's the last?
okay, this has been Con.
I've been Mads.
This is
Matthew. Oh, da 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 da.
Doghouse.
Later, guys.